It's a bit chilly out today. Alright. This is my first attempt at a video blog. One of the questions that people ask me, because I love riding motorcycles, is why do you ride motorcycles? And it's like, for me it's a release. It is like, any other, thing that you do to relax. For example, people like, watching football, or people like going to the bar. Some are more expensive than others. But anyways, for me, it is riding motorcycles. And I think a lot of people out there that ride motorcycles regularly, especially when it's cold out, like it is right now, they probably enjoy riding motorcycles. The sense of freedom, kind of like you're flying. And I've ridden all sorts of motorcycles. This is a sport bike that I'm using right now. I also have a general purpose motorcycle made in the 80s, little Honda. That's because of my size, it's like a 400cc. Because of my size, it's like riding a great big mini bike, is what it feels like. It was a cruiser of sorts, and I removed the cruiser handlebars and put some risers on the handlebars and added a drag bar to it. So now it feels like a giant mini bike. It's a lot of fun to ride, actually, even though it's not particularly fast. And then you have the actual, bigger cruisers. I've never ridden a Harley or an Indian, even though I'd love to have an Indian. I've never ridden one. I've ridden the Honda equivalent. I rode last summer I rode my dad's motorcycle. It was a cruiser. It's set up kind of like a Harley from the early aughts. It was it was actually kind of fun. I found the only problem I found is the front end felt loose compared to, well, obviously compared to this bike, but even compared to the general purpose bike that I've ridden. Not the best feeling in the world, but it's not too bad. And then I've ridden a it's a dual sport. Those are fun bikes to ride too. It's the only problem, I think about in the future getting, probably not a dual sport though, because they are set up a lot for off-road more, I think. Because when I rode it, it felt like, you give it gas and back end would, it'd squat real bad, a lot more than I'd like. And then when you hit the brakes, it'd dive a lot more than I like. So it's not necessarily one of those bikes that I would, that particular one I probably would not enjoy. It just was, the suspension was just a little too soft for my liking. Adventure touring bikes, I think, have a little bit harder suspension. I've never ridden one. I really would like to ride one. It would be a lot of fun to ride one of those bikes, and because then I could go, take long trips. I take a trip on this bike. That was fun. But I could take a trip on it, and I'd be able to take it places that I can't take this sport touring bike of mine. Yeah, so that would be, even if it's just like dirt roads and stuff, this bike can't handle it. But anyways, back to the original topic is, riding, motorcycles. What do I see in it? It's a passion. Is really what it is. It's like anything else that anybody does that they're really passionate about. Whether, like I said, bars. I don't know how passionate bars could be, but any passionate hobby you might have. It's just a passion. It's a stress reliever. For me, it's a chance to get out, go around, and see different places and feel free. Now, if you really are not a motorcycle rider and haven't been a motorcycle rider or ever been on a bike, the best thing I could think of is maybe when you're a child and you rode a bicycle and you just found that totally, awesome hill that's just like really long and not too steep, but really long, so you don't have to really pedal. And you just get up, and you pedal up to that as fast as you can, and then just coast down the hill, And you just while you're coasting, you can look around. You don't have to really do much outside, just coast and work the brakes. It's kind of like motorcycle riding. Yeah, it's a lot like motorcycle riding, actually. It's just, it's just something fun to do. The thing about a motorcycle is, people are intimidated because they're going fast and stuff. It's just like riding a bike. It really is. I mean, all you have to do is, imagine yourself on a bike and to turn corners. All you did is, shifted your weight and a little bit of handlebar movement. And, there you go. You turned. I think, that's one thing that scares a lot of people is steering the thing. Maybe working the clutch and the gears. But, they sell motorcycles in automatic nowadays. Not very many, but they're out there. And they come all different styles. And then people say, "Oh, I'm worried about the weight of the motorcycle." And it's like, they get pretty light. Yes, they're not as light as bicycles by a long shot, but, they're not like these super heavy things, that you have to worry about. I mean, it doesn't take, when you stop and you put your feet down, it doesn't take a lot of effort if you are, upright completely to hold the bike up. The biggest issue is for shorter people reaching the ground, and they sell bikes that are shorter and taller. And my problem is finding bikes that are taller, But yeah, it's a passion. It's a good relax, especially if you get away from, traffic, which today does not look like to be, a possibility as much. Get out in the country like this. This is actually near our state park, Cherry Creek State Park. You go up in the, for me it's go up in the mountains. If you live in like California, you go down to the coastal highway, you go somewhere that you enjoy going, and you just feel it's, riding a motorcycle, it's another thing that you can relate to. It's kind of like being, in a convertible. There you go. A convertible, car or something like that. You know, with the windows down, and the top down, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You know, except you got the wind in your face. You know. But some bikes have big windshields. It's not as big of an issue. You know, versus this one, which has a little windshield because it's designed for going really, really fast. So, yeah, it's just it's relaxing. It's especially if traffic's light. You know, you going somewhere you enjoy. You know, you don't necessarily have to go fast. I mean, you can find some country road that, speed limit's low, and you can cruise along there, you know. Yeah, I saw this one picture, a couple of years ago. And it does hold true. I mean, it's like, one thing that people put it, in a way that, that's easy to understand, is they showed a motorcycle parked on the side of the road next to a sign with a curve sign, showing, road for the next mile or two and showing all these curves and everything. And, it was a sport bike, so, that's the reason why I was parked next to that. And, it said, you never seen a motorcycle parked in front of a therapist's office, basically. And that really kind of says it all. I mean, in a way it is kind of therapy. Now, what if you're thinking, well, that sounds all great and everything, but I don't want a big motorcycle, I don't want to get a license for it and all that stuff. Hey, get 50cc. They got some out there that, that are very, very powerful enough to easily maintain the speed limit wherever you happen to be. Ooh, cows. So in Colorado, you could go up to 40 miles an hour on one. All you need is a standard driver's license and no motorcycle license required. It costs like $5 and something to register it, and there you go. So that's also an option. So anyways, this is my first ever blog. I haven't got everything figured out yet. Eventually I'm planning on mounting the camera to my helmet. Right now it's mounted to the handlebars because I have a handlebar mount for this particular bike. But, if there's any topics that you want me to cover in the future or whatever, let me know. I don't know about, how often I'm going to produce it because it's out there in the winter months. Because where I live, it snows, the main streets become clear. It takes like 2 weeks for the snow to melt in my front yard to get the bike out. So, please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.